Are you stuck in the DFS cash bubble? Can't quite figure out how to take that leap toward profitable results? Most of us don't have the time needed to keep up on all the news and stats necessary to be a successful player at daily fantasy sports, or the patience to read complicated spreadsheets and charts needed to make informed decisions. That's why at Run Pure Sports, we've simplified the lineup building process to help you create competitive teams. Our content team consists of some of the biggest names in the DFS industry, including BigT, Hoop 2410, JSURab, AP, Draftcheat, Mangone, and much more. Our contributors dominate the leaderboards in both tournament and cash game formats. These players provide you their top plays on a given slate in an easy-to-use format. In our core plays tool, our experts provide you with the players they'll be targeting the most on a given slate. These core plays give you the foundation you need to create competitive lineups. Our playbook is an easy-to-read guide to each slate, which will also help you make informed decisions. Our new cash game chart features the top plays on a given slate provided by our cash game pros Hoop 2410 and Mangone. We've got a page dedicated exclusively to DFS single game content. It's headed up by BigT, one of the top Showdown and MVP players in the world. Ask our experts and fellow premium members directly for lineup advice in our Discord channel, where our members have benefited by winning some of the biggest cash prizes across the DFS landscape. In our premium videos and articles, our experts lay out their favorite plays and strategies for a given slate designed to guide you towards profitability.
Sell me on Aaron Rodgers. You don't need to sell me on Aaron Rodgers because I trust your opinion, but come on, sell me.
So I think this year he's going to come in. He's going to selfishly try and throw as many touchdowns as possible. I think he's going to be a guy who, at the end of the year, we're talking about as an MVP candidate.
Plus, check out our tiers, stack charts, slate plan, projections, and much more to help you make your lineup building decisions. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at runpuresports.com to gain access at an affordable price. And for just a small added fee, you can also subscribe to our sports betting content on our bet site. Thanks for watching, and keep running pure. Hey, what's up? It's opening day. Major League Baseball. I got TitleTown with my beautiful city behind them. Oh, DC's a Denver guy too. This is all about the Rockies, I guess, today. And fade them at your own peril. But I think if you're going to win all the giblets, as Big T says, then you're going to have to be a little bit different. It's April Fool's Day. I just want to say this. No messing around, Title. No April Fool's jokes. I do not want any. This is serious, and we're trying to make money, okay?
Hey, I mean, I didn't plan on it, but I agree with you.
DC, you've got a wily smirk on your face. You better not be doing it. No April Fool's jokes today.
No April Fool's jokes here, man. We're serious people on the show.
We're trying to win some money, baby. All right, so hit like, hit subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We got a new partnership with Super Draft. Use the promo code RunPure, get a matching deposit up to $100. Okay, here's the deal. Run Pure Sports. If you haven't checked this out, go to runpuresports.com. Do it. We got so many tools. DC, I mean, you're putting a ton of content up out there too. What do we got for the Major League Baseball side for the people that are about to sign up or they're already subscribers?
Yeah, so we've got kind of our, flagship content, if you will, is the playbook, which will be up each and every day, kind of outlining what we feel are the best plays at each position, best stacks, and then kind of an overall slate strategy. We'll have articles, new guy D-Rock on board. He'll be providing some, more written content, and then core plays, of course, from a bunch of us in the crew. This show will be probably close to 7 days a week for sure. Monday through Friday. We'll have the MLB First Look podcast up Monday through Friday. So a ton of stuff that you need over at Run Pure. And then, of course, one of the most invaluable resources for all sports, including baseball, the Discord. I'll be in there after the show all the way up to lock throughout the day. And that'll be a daily thing. You'll see, Big T, Hoop, everybody in the Discord. Title, all the team members in the Discord, constantly answering any questions, talking strategy, talking swaps if you need to, just everything you need over at runpuresports.com.
All right, very good. I love it. I'm so excited. Is that a Brave shirt you have on?
Twins.
Okay, I can only see a Nike swoosh and some red.
Twins fan. Yep.
Yeah, I should have known that. I learned that you were from the Twin Cities yesterday. Okay, or somewhere in Minnesota. Hey, Title, my friend. It's wonderful to see you, first of all. Very excited to get this going. I think what we need to do before we get into this, because we do have a lot of new baseball DFS players, especially from our bet side. I mean, Run Pure Sports, you want to add the bet side to this, because Joey Work and JJ, I'll throw some plays in there too. It's $20 a month. You can get both sides for $100 a month. It's pretty amazing. But Title, give us one or two really important things to know if you're just getting into MLB DFS today, just real quick.
Yeah, people in Discord have been asking that too, saying they've never played and stuff. So baseball, it comes down to baseball is a correlation sport. If you've played hockey, it's very similar to that, where if your center gets a goal, you can get an assist from your left wing, your right wing. So you stack a team, you stack a line, and then they can all get points together. You get, and it's just similar to baseball in the same respect, where you have a team, let's say the Rockies, you stack them 1 through 4. Your leadoff hitter gets a single. Your second hitter gets a double. You got runners on second and third. Your third hitter gets a 2 RBI double. You get points for the run for your leadoff hitter, the run for your second hitter, the 2 RBIs for your third hitter. So they all correlate together and you get points in a stack. Unlike like football, yes, you stack a receiver and a quarterback and stuff, but you don't want a full onslaught it because only one person can score a touchdown at a time. You can't get 2 receivers. So baseball, the number one thing, and GPPs especially, you have to stack. I like doing maxing out, whether it's 4 on FanDuel, that's the max, 5 on DraftKings. And then you get a little secondary stack. Another secondary team can run a mini stack, 2-3. You can full stack. You can go 4-4. Just the main thing, make sure you do stack in tournaments. Pick a team, get them pretty close in the order. The top of the order is always going to have a lot more ownership than the bottom of the order, but you can make a lot of money at GPP stacking the bottom of the order, going wraparound stack, 8, 9, 1, 2. And then pitching. We definitely have to talk about that. You get 1 pitcher on FanDuel, 2 on DraftKings, which is the big difference. And pitching is the most important part of your lineup, just because they're out there you hope 6 innings. The later they go, the better obviously they're doing. They're not letting up as many runs. They're getting more strikeouts. And that's where most of the points come from in your lineup. It's very hard to hit a home run. Tilting MLB, you just can't do it. The best in the world, Mike Trout, will go 0 for 5 multiple times this year at the highest price there is. It's different from basketball. Giannis isn't going to put up a 20 piece for you or 15 piece for you, stuff like that. So there's always merit to fading chalk. I mean, if you're the Hall of Fame players in this game, they succeed 3 out of 10 times. So if you're a 300 hitter, you're very good in this game. A lot of variance, so you take on lower owned stacks, and that's how you win tournaments. Cash games, I still do like to stack if I can, but it is slate dependent based on value and other spots like that.
Hold on, where is Title this year? Is it all cash again, or are you going to throw a little GPP action in there?
I'm still mainly cash. Hoop, Mangone, and I am doing the cash chart for MLB, NBA. We'll have you covered, us 3. Hoop's on it today for baseball. I have basketball, and Mangone's doing the late baseball slate. So still mainly focused on cash, but I might dabble if I like a stack, a low-owned stack that I know people won't be on. I'll throw it in there in a tournament.
I'm done with cash. That's it. Title goes, you better get ready for the ups and downs. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm prepared. Whatever. We'll see what happens. Oh, Big T. Remember I told you the 3-unit loss on Michigan in the tournament the other night? Big T threw out the Lakers play on the Wood Show. Got it all back. It was just wonderful. Make sure you watch the NBA shows too. But DC, let's get to you, man. Couple of points that you can give some new DFS players, or maybe remind some veteran DFS players too, because I had to go through all this stuff yesterday and remember exactly every single detail we need to know.
Yeah, I thought Title's points were all good, in terms of GPP strategy with the stacking. I will say stacking even more important on FanDuel. The runs and RBIs are weighted more over there. So it's important, especially in tournaments, to get, stacks and then guys close together in the lineup. If you're going to leave guys out of a stack, make them if you're taking the 1 and the 3 hitter and you can't get the 2, in general, you want that 2 hitter that you're leaving out to be like a home run or strikeout type of guy. You don't want to leave out kind of a singles, doubles guy in the middle of a stack. And then, when you're taking your one-offs, especially if they're on a chalky team, right? Let's say you're fading the Dodgers, who I expect to be the most popular team today. You don't want your one-offs to come from the most popular stack, right? Because for one of those Dodgers to have a good game, especially if they're, not a home run hitter, which Dodgers don't really have many of those because their lineup's so good. But if that hitter goes off, probably that super chalky stack is also going off. And so that hitter going off won't help you as much. So you want to generally take the hitters that aren't in your stack, that are in your lineup, from teams that aren't going to be super popular. And you also want those guys to be mostly boom or bust, right? Power speed guys that can hit you, hopefully 1 or 2 home runs and kind of vault your perhaps popular stack to the top over other stacks, over other, lineups that have that same stack in them.
All right. Very good. Last thing, title. Did you know, and I just looked at this, your picture still has you with hair down to your back with a hat on backwards. Seriously? Mets Nats game postponed? Well, that's important news. Mets Nats game postponed tonight because of COVID issues. So knock that one off the list too. Does that really do anything to you guys? Did you even have any DeGrom or Scherzer, anything from this game tonight? DC, does the Mets national postponement move anything for you?
Wasn't even on the slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. So yeah,
all right,
not a big
good.
deal.
Screw them. We don't care. It is 80s in San Diego, Steve Anthony. I'm so excited about that. How many likes we got to get, title? How many likes to give away some swag? 2 or 250? We got 505 watching now with 100 likes.
Yeah, we can do 250. 504 watching so far. I expect more to pile in. 250 opening day. Good mojo.
Nate, I didn't know I look angry. I'm so happy, man. I'll just put a smile on this face, okay? I'm so excited. Come on. The Mets and the Nats, though. The Mets, the team I grew up rooting for. The Nats is the team I covered. I don't know. Screw it. Let's get into this here. Pitchers. Want to do some pitchers? Because I do. But before we do, so we got 2 postponements, right? Boston, Baltimore, and now the Mets and the Nationals. Those are our 2 postponements. We do have some crappy weather. Cleveland, Detroit's going to be so cold with wind. I think the whole Northeast, right? We already had the Boston-Baltimore game canceled. The Yankees, that's going to be bad weather. I'm sure. Chicago, of course. In April, it's always disgusting there. 30s with a lot of wind there. And I think, and maybe Philadelphia too, right? Wouldn't that be just the weather games today?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything outside of Coors Field, the West Coast, and games in domes is bad weather. I do think the rest of these games are probably going to play, but Boston's postponed. Like New York's weather is borderline postponable weather. Chicago is I think it's going to be like 32 degrees with the wind howling in from left field. I mean, the hitters there to me are just basically unplayable. The Brewers obviously have the dome there, so you can look at that game is safe and could be okay. But yeah, like Philadelphia, like you mentioned, pretty ugly. So a bunch of these games, I mean, the ball is just not going to be flying. Again, if you're new to DFS, kind of another point, weather makes a huge difference in terms of how easy it is to hit, right? You'll see totals climb way higher when the weather's warm, and these Northeast games and even some in the Midwest are like borderline postponement weather. It's just so cold and windy and gross. So kind of a strange opening day in that regard.
I wonder how many games the Mets and the Nationals will miss just because there's fears that there were more positive tests, but we don't need to worry about that. We got to go make some money today. So how about we do that? Let's start with pitchers and DC. I have been told you're the pitching guru. So let's do this. Let's get the top shelf pitchers today. I want to get your thoughts. Who are you targeting there? I would say, if you look at DK, maybe 8.5 and above. We got Darvish at 10.4, Nola at 10.1, Kershaw and Luis Castillo. What are you doing top shelf pitchers right now?
Yeah, for me, Kershaw basically, I mean, he's Clayton Kershaw. He could always be good, but completely off the table for me in Coors Field. If you wanted to get contrarian, I guess you could go there. I personally wouldn't do it. Darvish, Nola, Castillo, I think they're all okay plays. But I don't see myself paying for any of these guys. Maybe you, Darvish, out in San Diego against the against the Diamondbacks, but that's one of the games that hitting can actually succeed in. My number one guy, and this would be, I would take him at the highest price point. Yu Darvish, highest price pitcher on DK at 10.4. Tyler Glasnow sitting at 8.8. I have him projected over every other pitcher on the slate, regardless of price. So he's going to be my number one guy. He would be the guy I would play in cash games for sure, both sites. He's been fantastic, kind of up and down career, but if you've never seen this guy pitch, when he's on, he's basically unhittable, throwing 98, 99, a monster curveball. And in the big thing for Glasnow that maybe some people don't know, he added a slider in the offseason. He was a 2-pitch pitcher. Now he's got a 3rd pitch that looks absolutely filthy in spring training. He's stretched out. He's ready to go. He should be out there for 90, 100 pitches, which isn't true of all starters today. And gets to face, the Miami Marlins, who have a pretty bad lineup. So Glasnow, the number one guy for me. And honestly, it's not that close.
Okay. So FanDuel, you're just plugging in Glasnow, and that's it?
So FanDuel is interesting. The pricing is really, really tight over there. If you play one of the top end pitchers, you can't get a lot of the top end bats. So I'm at least interested in paying down a pitcher on FanDuel.
Okay. Very good. TitleTown. Let's get into this here. My sense is that at least on DraftKings, you're just going to see a lot of Woodruff today. Let's go Kyle Hendricks, Woodruff, and up. So we got Hendricks, Woodruff, Maeda, Flaherty. Stop me if you hear something you like. What's your take on Glasnow, Darvish, Nola? Do you see yourself going in that price range today? I would say maybe mid-tier and up, or is there anybody below that? So start with your guys you're looking at, mid-tier to top tier.
Yeah, so I'll start on DraftKings because the sites differ. FanDuel included the first 2 games with Garrett Cole and Bieber, 2 of the best pitchers in baseball, obviously DeGrom and stuff, and DraftKings doesn't have those games. So I'll have to break it down different. I'll start on DraftKings. Up top, Yu Darvish, the most expensive pitcher. I think rightfully so. I do like him. If I had to pick in a vacuum, Darvish or Glasnow, I would go with Darvish. However, the savings definitely lead me. I mean, I love Coors Field on the slate. Who doesn't? I always love Coors. So I like Glasnow for the savings, but I do think Darvish makes sense in tournaments. He's going to be a lot lower on because of the price. I'm not scared of this Arizona lineup, and Darvish has a ton of upside, over a 30% K rate last year, 5% walk rate. I like him in tournaments a lot. Nola, I'm not picking on the Braves. Kershaw, I agree. I don't think Colorado's good this year, but don't need to go there today in Coors on opening day. Yeah. I agree with DC on Glasnow. 8.8K on DraftKings seems too cheap. Tons of upside. Not scared of this Miami lineup. So I'm definitely on board with him. Then it goes to Woodruff at 8K. And I really like Woodruff down there at 8K. I'm not scared with this Twins lineup. Cruz is not in it, which is a big bump down, obviously. A lot of strikeouts in there. I see his K prop at 7.5. So I like that price on both sites. And then I also like Luis Castillo at 9.2K on DraftKings too. Another 7.5 K prop. His problem is always walks, as we've known. If he can limit his walks, he should absolutely have a lot of success. Tons of strikeout upside, low total game on both sides. So Castillo, Glasnow, Woodruff are my favorites. And then I would go Yu Darvish in the upper tier in tournaments. And I want to mention Kyle Hendricks too on DraftKings. 7.7K. His K prop's only 4.5. We know he's a way better real life pitcher than he is DFS because he relies on ground balls. He doesn't strike a lot of people out, but I mean, he's pitching in the best game environment, arguably in Chicago, where the wind's howling in, the weather's awful, just going to be a lot of dead balls off the bat. So he can easily go 7 innings and still have only 90 pitches, get you the win in the game. So I do like him to get Coors bats, 7.7K on DraftKings, 2-pitcher site. I definitely like it. Now going to FanDuel. You want me to cover FanDuel quick? Yeah. So Bieber at 11.5, he is the top pitcher on the slate for sure. Great matchup against the Tigers. Again, cold weather. He's 8.5K prop, the highest on the slate. But like DC said, it's only a 1-pitcher site. But if you go all the way up there, you're going to sacrifice Coors bats. And there isn't a lot of great hitting environments outside of the Dodgers and Padres pretty much. I won't even say Coors in general because Colorado's not in that great of a spot. So I'm not finding myself right now paying all the way up in cash. I'd rather pay down. I like Castillo down there at 8.9K. Woodruff's right there at 8.7K. Glass now is too expensive in cash for me at 10K. So I'm mainly focused on the Castillo and Woodruff range in the high 8Ks because it gets me some Dodger bats.
All right, very good. DC title, either one of you want to just talk about some GPP flyers down a little bit lower?
For sure. So I do think you can pay if you want all the way down at pitching on both sites. You talked about Kyle Hendricks in that Wrigley Field game. I think Chad Kuhl is fine. He's the cheapest pitcher on both sides. He's not a very good pitcher, but the game environment is just so good. His problem is usually control, and he gives up a lot of power to lefties. It's going to be so hard to hit a home run in Wrigley Field today that I think he could survive it. Again, if you want to fully stack the Dodgers, you have to pay down, and I think that's a viable strategy today. The other guy that I like is Kyle Gibson. Had a terrible 2020, but has looked really good this spring. I think he's going to have a much better year. Faces the Royals in Kansas City. I mean, a pretty solid matchup. Very cheap on DraftKings. He's 5.3K. He's, I believe, 6.9K. Nice price over on FanDuel. And I kind of like it. I mean, Title, I don't know how many FanDuel lineups or Holden, how many FanDuel lineups you guys have tried to build. If you put in one of those top pitchers, it's brutal, man. You can't get any of the Dodger bats or the high end Padres. Like FanDuel, I guess if that's your preference, did a good job with pricing and making you make decisions. You have to make real sacrifices to get in some of the top end pitchers, and especially in tournaments, I don't think it's worth it. I think the best way probably to the top of tournaments today is to pay down at pitcher. And right now, my main FanDuel GPP lineup does have Kyle Gibson in it. So we'll see. He's not a sure thing, but it's just too much upside, in my opinion, to sacrifice paying up at pitching in FanDuel tournaments today.
I do want to add one point though, with FanDuel and why they do that too. The difference, the big one for pitching, FanDuel DraftKings, you get points for a quality start on FanDuel. You get 4 points. Quality start means you go 6 innings at least, 3 earned runs or less. So those 4 points do add up, especially in cash. And that's some of the merit to paying up in some spots. But again, this slate is very unique. I get what you're saying, DC, because there's really only 2 teams that have that we have any interest in because of the weather and spots.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I did the playbook today over at Run Pier, and I only listed 2 stacks, the Padres and the Dodgers. Normally, there's going to be 5-6 teams in there that I feel pretty good about, but with the cold weather and all the aces pitching on opening day, it's just a very unique slate. It's really the only slate of the year that it will be kind of like this, because obviously the schedules get jumbled and you don't get all the aces going on the same day. But for one day, I got a fairly tight player pool today, honestly.
I got to tell you guys, if we're going down, I want to get your thoughts on this. Why not Alcantara? He's a high strikeout guy, second straight opening day. I like his stuff. He actually had a remarkable spring too, at least for the strikeout numbers. In a GPP, Sandy Alcantara, why did neither one of you bring him up? Is he just a bad play today?
He's a good play. He just missed my list. Tampa Bay, pretty good lineup, pretty good offense there. But Alcantara absolutely in play. That's a good call, Holden.
Yeah, I think I only play DraftKings just for all transparency. That's what I play. I'm over FanDuel. But in a 2-pitcher site, if I'm paying down, that's my guy today. He's got such a live arm. I'm a fan. Yeah,
he has more upside than the other guys down below. I agree. I mean, he has good stuff. It makes sense in tournaments for sure. Last guy I will mention. I know D-Rock is very high on him. I've seen other people in Discord. Kenta Maeda.
Yeah, he's 8.2. I'm high on him as well. Yep.
Yeah. And that's mainly, unfortunately, I know I have my Brewers jersey on, big fan, but this lineup is not good. They're going to strike out a ton. So, you can pick on the Brewers all year when it comes to strikeouts, and Kenta Maeda is good.
You mentioned you like Woodruff. They're pretty much the same price on DraftKings. Maeda 8.3, Woodruff 8.0. I do prefer Maeda straight up over Woodruff in that same game. So just thought I'd throw that out there.
And that'll be more contrarian too.
I wish we could get points for ground balls, because he would be the best ever. I love Kenta Maeda if that was the case. What were you going to say, Title?
I was just going to say for DC, like Maeda is going to be a lot lower owned than Woodruff too. So it makes sense in tournaments as well.
All right, guys. Now listen, you hear Title and DC talking about Discord. If you're not a member for Run Pure Sports, here's the deal. yeah, you get to watch our show. But leading up to lock, I mean, we have our analysts in the Discord. Discord is basically just a message board where our insiders, our experts, our analysts, they're going to answer your questions up to lock. So it really is a massive tool. If you're not in there, I think you have a major disadvantage as a Run Pure Sports subscriber. Okay, just beginning here. You need to be in Discord. Breaking news. The guys will update their cores if that's needed. Any type of question you got, our guys are in there answering the question for you. So get in there right now, runpuresports.com, sign up. Also, get the Run Pure Sports podcast, Apple, Google Play, Draftcheat. Who is with you today, Draftcheat, for your morning MLB podcast? And is it MLB and NBA now? Are you doing both?
So it was just NBA up until today's version, which Uncle T, Big T's uncle, joined me on that one. It's kind of a rotating cast. I'm on there Monday through Friday, and it'll be MLB, primarily MLB going forward with kind of, I'm fully immersed in baseball with it starting up. So kind of switching over from NBA to MLB right now.
Speaking of Uncle T, Holden, he told me to tell you that he is officially your daddy or something. I don't know what that's about. I didn't ask any questions, but he DM'd me this morning saying, tell Holden that I'm his daddy or something. So
he's old enough to be my daddy. That's about it.
Whatever that means, I don't know.
I don't know what it means either. Uncle T is just he's his own bird, man. He probably didn't even know he was talking. He probably wasn't even texting you. He was probably texting somebody. Come on, Uncle T, get it together. I'm happy he actually stayed up with Draftcheat. Did you tape it last night? Because Uncle T has girls' high school and middle school basketball games that he has to call DC. So did he take time off to do that?
We had to tape at like 7:30 Eastern time so we could get to bed in time,
Yeah, he was not going to bed. He was calling girls' games. The guy's really dedicated to it. I'm serious. He loves calling those games.
He is good at it, though, I will say. And he's got his cores up on the site too.
Hold on, he's good at what? Play-by-play?
Yeah.
He called a hell of a game between you and Big T.
Exactly.
He called the game?
Yeah.
You didn't even watch or listen.
I haven't yet. I haven't. I've been so
He was very
busy.
good. Yeah, busy. Sure.
Yeah, busy.
We'll go with that.
So many adult film new releases you got to get to, title. It's just no time for that. So we got 700 watching and 197 likes.
Not bad.
And we're going to give away swag at 250. So how about you do us a favor? We're giving you free content today. So I don't care if you're a freeloader or not. I love our subscribers. I wish you would be a subscriber. You'll probably win money once you start subscribing. Get us to 250 so we can get some swag out. We're over 700 viewers, so let's not mess around anymore. I love you too, Uncle T. He's in there right now. DeGriff is angry at me. I don't even know who you are, DeGriff. DeGriff, there's a whole bunch of stuff you could stick down your mouth, but I won't tell you what that is. Let's get to position by position. Are we ready to do that?
Do it.
You want to do position by position or game by game?
I like position by position better for baseball.
All right.
Yeah, title. What did I say? I said position by position. Let's do it, title.
Sorry.
I like your AirPods, by the way. They're really kind of neat. You should put some bling on them, though. If I send you like little fake sapphires, will you tape them to your AirPods?
No, we'll go on to position by position.
Yeah. Everybody just crush DeGriff in chat, and then we'll just keep going. Okay, so there's games we're just going to wipe off the slate, aren't we, DC? Like, just because of the weather and everything. And again, Boston and Baltimore's postponed. You don't got to worry about the Nats and the Mets postponement. But as far as offenses go, how many can we just wipe off before we even start?
To me, Pittsburgh and Chicago Cubs, I can't imagine rostering a hitter in that game. I don't really like Atlanta, Philadelphia, but maybe you could make a case for a couple guys. I mean, they both have strong lineups, right? Like at least there's some elite hitters there that you could roster. The weather's not quite as bad for hitting as it is in Chicago. I would say Pittsburgh and Chicago, the one game where I really, really wouldn't target any hitters there. But, pretty much anything on the East Coast is pretty questionable for hitters, in my opinion.
Okay, very good. Let's just get into it here. We will start at catcher because that's the first position, maybe the more boring position, but it's the position nonetheless that we're going to get to. We'll get to the stacks, but let's just say you are building cash and you don't want to stack too much. Who are some of the one-offs we can look at right now at catcher, DC?
Catcher, it's often tough. It is just brutal today. There are like literally no good plays at catcher. I know that's not the most exciting thing to say, but it's just honestly the truth. If you want to spend up, JT Realmuto's 5.5K. He is, I would say the highest raw projection here, but I can't really imagine playing him. Fried's a really good pitcher that limits power. Again, he'll be contrarian. I don't know if I would go there. Salvador Perez, I think you could play, but honestly, I think this position is a full punt today. We talked about kind of the pricing being a little bit tight. Trying to find a catcher on DraftKings is tough. So the guy that I'm looking at, I assume he'll be in the lineup, is Victor Caratini for the Padres. Looks like Austin Nola, their normal starting catcher, is out. He's going to be out a couple weeks, so Caratini should get the start. He's no great shakes as a hitter, but he is 2.6K, right? So I think he's the cheapest, or maybe the second or third cheapest starting catcher. The matchup's pretty good against Bumgarner. The hitting environment's good. The team is good around him. So you're kind of just hoping to get by with catcher. I don't see spending up myself unless I'm trying to get really different. And on this slate, I don't see doing that.
Okay. TitleTown catcher.
So another difference with FanDuel and DraftKings is FanDuel, you don't have to roster a catcher. It's catcher and first base, which, I mean, like it, don't like it. That's how it is. So catchers aren't really rostered too much over there. On DraftKings, how I approach catcher a lot on most slates is you either full punt it, or in GPPs, whatever your main stack is, or your secondary stack, you throw the catcher in the stack too, because we talk about how it correlates. Usually it's a punt. I mean, they're all, like DC said, they're not very good today. Punt it, whoever's in your stack, you hope they get some runs.
The problem is Will Smith would be the best catcher. I don't think he's going to be in the lineup though, because Kershaw needs his personal catcher, Austin Barnes. So again, no lineup there. I could be wrong, but I think
Barnes. Hey, listen, DC. I was doing the same thing last night. I was like, oh, Will Smith is not going to be in there today. It could be, but this is personal catcher day, so I think it's going to be Barnes if he's feeling up to it.
Yeah, exactly. So if Smith is in there, I think he's a pretty good play at 4.6K, but I don't anticipate him being in there. And Austin Barnes is just not a good enough hitter for me to pay that 3.8 tag. So, I mean, he's certainly usable, but I see punting catcher day as being the best strategy.
All right, guys, good job. You got us to 250 likes. We like it. What's the next number, Title? 350, 4?
No, I mean, we said 250. We can't say anymore. I mean,
no, I'm going to give away another one. It's opening day. Let's go. Yeah. What's the next number?
Let's get 425.
425.
Ambitious. I like it.
That's the next.
Oh, there's over 730 watching. We can definitely do that.
Yeah,
good mojo.
It's opening day, baby. It's opening day. Bruce Dickinson, baby. Cock of the walk. Huh?
Let me add a couple catcher. I just wanted to. I didn't name any names. Will Smith. That is a very good point, because if he is in the lineup, I have interest in him. He's a very, 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 very good hitter. 4.6K. That feels like you get value in Coors Field in the heart of the lineup. He'd probably be batting fifth. So if he is in the lineup, I like him a lot. 3.5 on FanDuel. Definitely have interest over there, even in the catcher first base spot. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's Victor Caratini at 2.6K if he's in the lineup. Padres are the second best offense today. I'm not scared of Madison Bumgarner, so I like him in that price. Otherwise, yeah, it's a punt. I mean, there's Carson Kelly. Whatever punt you land on, you can do there. But otherwise, Caratini, 2.6K is probably the best play if Will Smith is out of the lineup.
You like that. Okay. Guys over at first base, just trying to see, you got to take weather into account. You got to take pitching into account. There's a lot going on here. I don't want to pay up for Freddie Freeman. I don't mind Muncy at 5.2 on DraftKings. Keep going down through this. It just, you guys must like first base more than I do. I guess Carlos Santana, if you want somebody in that environment. I don't see, I'm playing GPP, so I'll be stacking a lot, but what are your one-offs here if you're playing cash, DC? Because let's just say you're not stacking Colorado and the Dodgers for a cash. Where are you going? Who's first baseman here?
I mean, there are two plays that clearly stand out. Max Muncy, the top overall play at first base. There's just no question about it. Whether or not he ends up as the top play at the end of the slate, we'll see. But when you project it out on paper, he's the number one guy in terms of raw point projection. But I actually think CJ Cron is the best point per dollar play, Colorado Rockies first baseman. So he's been fantastic in spring training, 5 home runs in spring training, one of the leaders there. A good home run hitter overall. He has been for a number of years, has had trouble staying healthy, but healthy, good to go right now. And then he crushes lefties in general. And Clayton Kershaw doesn't really have the stuff to succeed in Coors Field. So one thing people don't know necessarily about Coors Field is it really suppresses strikeouts because in the thin air, breaking pitches don't move nearly as much. You can see it in the data. Kershaw, at this point in his career, he doesn't have a great fastball. He was throwing 89, 90 miles per hour this spring, really reliant on his slider and his big curveball. Neither of those pitches are all that effective in Coors Field. And CJ Cron, to throw it back his way, he hammers fastballs and kind of struggles sometimes against breaking balls. So you throw it all together, and I think you could make a case. You get to the bullpens, and obviously, he's going to have to face good pitchers out of the Dodgers pen most likely, so that's not great. But I really, really like CJ Cron, 3.8K, and I think I wouldn't say he'll be contrarian, but I think people might be a little bit afraid to roster against Clayton Kershaw. I'm definitely not today especially with CJ Cron.
Okay. Again, first base title, you're just going to go to this Colorado Dodgers game. Is there anybody else you can give us?
Well, I'm glad DC did break down the part of the Coors Field. Breaking ball pitches, they move less in elevation. Balls carry more in the thin air. There's more extra base hits. So, I mean, that's why Coors Field, when you always look at the total, when I always am talking about it. And today there's even a bigger boost. It's 60 degrees in Colorado where it's 30, 35, 40 at a lot of other places. So
we live in large holes. We got the good weather today.
It's by far the best game environment.
Yeah, it just snowed 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's going to be gorgeous today, and I'm going to be stuck inside watching baseball all day, so whatever.
Yeah, but Cody Bellinger is definitely the top play if you can get him. He's 4.6K on FanDuel, more expensive on DraftKings, but that's how they're always priced. Clearly the best play. I like him if you can get him. If you need to go a little lower, Carlos Santana is only 3.6K. He'll probably be in the 4-hole today. They have a pretty healthy 4.8 total on this slate. I think he'll be pretty popular if you want to go down. And then I do like CJ Cron as DC mentioned. Kershaw is not the same pitcher as we've known him for. I'm going to probably pick on him in tournaments at some point this year. I'm not going to do it today in a full stack with this Rockies lineup. I don't think it's good, but CJ Cron definitely has a lot of power. So have interest in him. If you want to go to like Nate Lowe down there in that range too, 3.5K, should be in the 4-hole against Keller. I like his power there. Max Muncy, but I would rather try and get Bellinger if I'm paying up. So I think you go all the way up to the Coors and Bellinger, or you go pretty low to the value in the mid 3K range with some of those guys.
Am I missing something? Bellinger's not a first baseman on DraftKings, right? I'm not missing.
No, first on FanDuel, and then he's just outfield on DK, right? Yep, just outfield. 5.8K, sorry. So Max Muncy if you want to go on DraftKings, but I think it's going to be going lower so you can pay up for the Seagers, the Bellingers that.
Hey guys, it's awesome you're watching. We got a free show. We're going to be doing free shows during the season. Again, I think this is only part of the process though. You got to try it out. At least try the site out. RunPureSports.com. You can also add the bet side for $20. Joey Work, JJ. I'll be throwing some plays in there too, but you got to check it out. We got core plays every day. You're going to see these guys, their best lineup. They're going to give you the best players from their best lineup, just like we do it over in NBA, just like we've done it over in NFL. Same thing in baseball. So you got that. You got a playbook, drop it, just breaking it all down. There's a cash chart. Cash players, it's very easy. It's simple. They made a chart. They say, play this guy, you play that guy. Do we have the green color coding still? I love color coding. Yep. It makes things so much easier. So yeah, we got that, projections, optimize, everything. So I'm telling you, it's going to help you. It's going to help you. That's just the way things work here. We win at Run Pure Sports. Winners win, as we say. Right now, like and subscribe. Do that down there. Monkey Knife Fight, got to tell you about that. We got a promo code Run Pure up to a $50 matching deposit. Title and I do that show on Wednesdays. We'll start doing some baseball too, but It's kind of a nice way to, they're the third biggest DFS provider. So it's kind of fun. And it's more like player props and stuff, which I'm really into in baseball too, Title.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, strikeout props a lot. There's fantasy points too. Good spots. We'll pick on Coors a lot, hit those overs. I'm excited to break that down on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, Steve Anthony in the chat's like JT 100K, JSU ships, Big T, all our guys ship. I'm serious. And they're posting Coors up there. They're going to help you. So, yeah, you said it. Oh, 300 likes already? You guys are studs. 425. We're giving out another one. Were you going to say something else, TitleTown?
No, DC was.
Yeah, I was
DT,
say,
what up?
Over at Monkey Knife Fight and the prop in general, Tyler Glass now over on the strikeouts today. I'm telling you, he might hit that in the fourth inning.
What's his K prop?
He's going to shove today. I'm telling you guys, that's my biggest thing. Tyler Glass now, play him today. He's going off.
What is his K prop?
I think it's 7.5.
So how high would you go on that? That's what I would have set it at 7.5, but you go over 7.
I think he's getting double-digit strikeouts today.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Take the alt line on there you go. He just took it out, put it down on the table. Tyler Glass now.
That's the man.
Love it.
Free play of the day from DC. There
DC's
you go,
package
folks.
play of the day. Take the package out, slam it down, tell them who you're playing. Are you still going with the SO play of the day? Is that your thing?
Yeah, of course. That's not going to change. It got a double, the Acapurdo double smash yesterday too. It got to go right back.
All right. Okay. Where are K-Falix charts? Alex, I don't know where K-Falix charts are. I would love to find K-Falix charts.
You get some data first. We got to get some games under our belt.
Okay. That's when we'll see his. I feel like he could have come up with a chart today. Maybe he's just slacking. I love
maybe he's in Discord dropping them right now without us knowing.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is, and maybe he isn't. Second base. So Albies got moved up, didn't he? And he hit second today. I like that. If you really wanted to spend up, I think I want to just target Madison Bumgarner today. You got to tell me if Cronenworth lefty matchup would be any good in that situation. Those are just two guys that kind of stood out for me. If I'm going weight, I don't even know if I want to go way down today. DC, let's start with you on this. Give me a high, mid, and low tier first baseman that we can look at.
Yeah, so Keston Hiura, I think, has upside if you want to get really different. He'll be super, super low owned, but massive power hitter. Occasionally has home run trouble, so you could spend on him. But whichever Dodger starts, I don't know if it's going to be Chris Taylor or Gavin Lux. I think both guys are strong plays. I think I would prefer Lux. Lefties generally fare better against Marquez, but you could go either way. Both guys look pretty good in spring training. And then I think this is a decent position to save on. My favorite down here is Jorge Polanco for the Twins. I believe he should be hitting what's he hitting? Third. Yeah, third in that Twins lineup. I knew he'd be in the middle of it. He was not healthy these last couple years, but if you look back to like 2018, he was a really, really good hitter. He looks like he's good to go. Miller Park, really good for lefty power in particular. Woodruff, a very good pitcher, good strikeout pitcher, but Polanco puts the bat on the ball, and Woodruff does occasionally have home run issues. So I think Polanco's got a decent chance to pull one out to right field off of Woodruff. He's 3.3K on DraftKings. He's my, he's the top of the chart for me in terms of the core plays. A decent position to save money on here at second base.
All right, Title, let's go. No Rockies, no Doyers. You got to go somewhere else here at this position.
Okay, but I do need to mention, because DC did warm my heart. I really hope Gavin Lux gets in the cracks this lineup, because yes, if anyone's been following me, that's my boy. I mean, he's a stud. I really hope, and he has a good price tag on both sides. He's 3.8K on DraftKings. He's 3K on FanDuel. If he's in the lineup, I love him, and I like Garrett Hampson too. But I can't mention those guys. So I mean, on DraftKings,
8th. The Rockies lineup just came out. You okay with him hitting down there?
Yeah, I mean, he's 2.9K on DraftKings. I don't like paying up on FanDuel. It's just you get a little more exposure there. I mean, I don't love it, but Kettle Marte is only 2.7K.
I should have mentioned him as well. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the matchup against Darvish, but good hitting conditions. You're batting lead off. I expect him to bat lead off. Kettle Marte is a good baseball player, so I expect a bounce back year. That's too cheap for him. On FanDuel, yeah, I mean, it's gross for sure. If you want like I mean, Luis Arias, how do you pronounce it? Arias. That there will be a lot more of that than just Arias. So heads up for that. He's in the 1 hole today, right? Against Woodruff at 2.3K. I like that price on FanDuel to punt. Second base is not good. So I expect going down, saving money. No chance I'm spending up anywhere, but I do like Gavin Lux as my favorite if he does crack the lineup. Kettle Marte will be chalk on DraftKings.
Shout out to the Rockies for getting their lineup out this early. Love it. Tapia, Fuentes. This is not good either.
That lineup's
Tapia,
awful.
Fuentes, Story, Blackman, Crone. Did we talk about Crone very much? I kind of like him today. Diaz,
we did.
Owings, Hampson, Marquez. But CJ Crone at first, he's going to bat 5th.
Did we talk about him? I talked about him for like 4 minutes.
You did?
Yeah, we talked about it. Hey,
right.
Come on, Mangone.
What? No, I was answering. You know what? I gotta take an L there. You're right. That's shit Mangone does. My bad. I seriously apologize. Now, Jay Reed in the chat said DC didn't answer any of the question. The question I asked about the top tier, the mid tier, and the low tier. So, now that I've been dissed by being called Mangone, you need to give me more plays. Okay.
I can do that. Yeah, I think I answered the question, but we'll go right back to it at second base.
Well, Jay Reed said you didn't. I've known him longer than you, so really I don't know him at all. So let's go. Top shelf, mid shelf, low tier, real quick.
Yeah. So top shelf, whichever Dodger's in there, Taylor or Lux. Mid tier is Jorge Polanco, as I mentioned, and then there are some good options as Title mentioned. Ketel Marte, a fantastic play. Josh Rojas, I think he should be hitting 6th for Arizona. I think he's going to have a breakout season. You can also run on Yu Darvish. He's a stolen base guy, so he's interesting. And then kind of my way off the wall play of the day. Hopefully he's in the line. He'll be in the lineup. It does go against my Glasnow pick, but Jazz Chisholm Jr., power speed guy for the Marlins. He does have big strikeout issues, so he could easily give you an 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. But Glasnow, it's super, super easy to run on Glasnow. By far the easiest pitcher of any pitcher in baseball. He's got, he's like 6'8", so he's got the super long windup. I'm almost certain if Jazz Chisholm gets a chance, he will steal a base against Glasnow. So he's 2.5K on DraftKings, and he is the stone minimum 2K on FanDuel. He's a fun tournament play.
Draftcheat, I haven't heard you talk about CJ Crone. Can you give me a little breakdown there? Hey, if you're in the chat, and for those of you that are not Run Pure Sports subscribers, you may not realize that basically we just like to have a lot of fun too. I think West Coast Gem called it eastbound and down of DFS content. So we like to have some fun here. We will also, if you talk trash to us, we will come right back at you. So when Kiona's dad in the chat says, what was Big T's excuse for getting smoked by Title in the basketball game? Title had this reply: your mom kept me up too late. So I must say that just expect that and a lot more. I expected a little more out of Big T, to be honest with you. I think that the mom thing, you could have been more creative, maybe a dad or a sister, but that's fine.
Who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
Cleolona's dad or something like that. Somebody.
Whoever had the eastbound and down reference, I think they should be the swag winner because that.
Well, West Coast didn't in here today. I think he's an NBA guy.
That's the first season of Eastbound and Down. It's one of the greatest television ever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take season 2. I'll take season 3. I'll take Stevie.
It's good, but the first season is.
I'll take it. Ashley Schaefer. There's actually a guy on the bet side. His name is Zach the Goat. And I convinced, because he lives in Charlotte, and I convinced him that Ashley Schaefer had pitching matchups like Kenny Powers versus this guy. And his eye got popped out. He's like, I got to stop by. That sounds great. And I said, well, Ashley Schaefer owns Kia now. No longer does he have the good place. Yes, Tyler.
I do want to interrupt. Yeah, you said Title said that reply, Juranis. No, I don't know what to be honest, I don't even know what name he said. That was not my response
Big T.
Big T didn't have an excuse. Big T admitted the better man won. So
yeah, it was Big T. Yeah, it wasn't Title.
Holden. Yeah, Holden likes to make up a lot of things. I didn't even hear Big T say that.
I didn't make that up.
Well, all right. Anyway,
all right.
The better man won. There was no excuse.
The more in shape man.
Are you even a man, dude? Seriously.
The better boy won. Whatever you want to call it.
Thank you very much. You're until you move out to your own place. Come on, Title.
I mean, I've had my own place, but All right.
Are you living in your own place right now?
Well, not currently, but I was.
Do you
for the
use
last
a
4
Manscaped?
years.
Are you old enough to use a Manscaped yet?
No. I just
Oh my
shaved
God,
actually.
you just admitted that. Next time, lie title.
I just shaved. Oh, I don't need it. It's all clean. That's all you got to know.
Uncle T talking the trash. I love it. And
What's
Drew
Uncle
Amos,
T
I don't
saying?
even know what you're talking about. Let's keep going
Kenny
here.
Powers.
Huh?
I said what I saw what Uncle T
All
said.
right, third base time. Manny Machado against Bumgarner. That looks great. Justin Turner here at Coors Field. So we could just get those guys out of the way.
You hate Coors Field. You just want us to ignore everyone that's playing in Coors today?
No, we already know that they're great plays. We're not sitting here saying, oh, look, Manny Machado is my play of the day. We know Manny Machado's there. We know Justin Turner is there. All right, who's your preference today? Justin Turner or Manny Machado going up against Bumgarner?
I'll take the savings with Turner.
Of course you will. Of course you will. Of course you will. All right, DC. Top shelf, mid-tier, cheapy.
Yeah.
Third base.
This show will be better on other days when there's more players in play. It's brutal today. It just really is. Machado, to me, clearly the best play, even over Turner. Turner, you love Coors Field, but Marquez is a good pitcher. He's tough on righties. Turner swings from the right side. He's better versus lefties himself. So I'm trying to spend for Machado wherever I can. If you're trying to get different, Mike Moustakas in Cincinnati, a great home run park. Not necessarily today with the cold weather, but in general, he's got a lot of power. And Jack Flaherty, a good pitcher, but he was not good last year and hasn't looked good in spring. His velocity's been down a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about Jack Flaherty, just his performance going forward. So I do kind of like the Reds. We haven't talked about them much, but Joey Votto, Mike Moustakas, they're just kind of expensive, but they'll be super low owned. I assume some people even play Jack Flaherty. I would recommend against that myself. But yeah, Mike Moustakas would be the guy that I think's got at least the upside to match a Machado or a Turner. Even if they have good games, I could see Moustakas going deep off of Flaherty today.
That is, I like the Mustak. That's ballsy again, man. You just took it out and threw it on the table. I love these plays, DC. All right, title. Let's go. Give me your chalkiest plays that you can find.
Well, you already mentioned the two. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm going to play someone else in cat. Machado and Turner are obviously the two best plays. If you want some tournament plays, I don't mind that Moustakas call. Brian Anderson, if you want to go cheap, he's 3.4K on DraftKings. More so you can target Glasnow's not going to go 7 innings, 8 innings. If anything, it'll be 6, I think, max. So you get a bat or two against the bullpen, and Brian Anderson has power. So I like them for a cheap price tag. It was very low owned if you want to go that route. I mean, it's pretty.
I'll throw Alec Boehm into the mix.
Yeah.
Good young hitter, 3.1K on DraftKings. If you need the savings, could do worse than that.
If you want to go with the Kettle Marte and get a little mini stack against Darvish, I mean, the whole Arizona team today is so cheap. Eduardo Escobar is only 2.8K, probably going to be in the 3-hole. It's by far, I mean, it's a good bullpen, though. It's not a spot I love to pick on, but it's the best hitting environment, and Arizona is really cheap today.
All right, I don't want to get too deep in this because we got to get out of here in like 25 minutes. But Rocky in the chat goes, Turner's 2 for 16 against Marquez. I am somebody that very rarely will use batter versus pitcher, BVP. Once in a while it stands. To me, that's not enough to get off of Turner today. What's your stance on BVP, guys? How about you, Title?
I'm not a very big BVP person. I mean, the sample has to be very big. I mean, and it has to be like a coin flip to me even before that. I hardly look at it. I think there's enough advanced statistics now with analytics, hard hit. I mean, there's so many stats out there that I think paint a lot better picture. Occasionally, maybe a couple times a year, you'll find something that I care about. And you're also picking when you go Turner, like you're picking on that Marquez. They're going to beat Marquez up. He'll be pulled pretty early. You're going to get to a bad bullpen. He's not going to face Marquez all 4 or 5 at bats.
Lance Cameron, I would say I'm not ruthless today. I don't know what you're talking about. This is typical. Plus, we're being nice to Title. We're being nice to DC. You know, it's just a couple guys in the chat that aren't subscribers. That's it. DC, BVP.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of using BVP, but I will say you can get, like, if you I like to call it, I don't know, advanced BVP. So the problem with it in such small sample sizes, you mentioned Turner 2 for 16 off of Marquez. But like if 4 of those outs were line outs to center field or to the shortstop, they wouldn't show up in the BVP. But now Baseball Savant, like you can look up the actual results of like how hard he hit the ball. Was it a ground or a fly ball? And so sometimes you can find a hitter that they've got a sample size of 20, 25 at bats. The pitcher can never strike them out. I think that matters a little bit, in terms of if the pitcher is constantly striking out the hitter, I think there's some signal there. And then, if you're getting constantly, they're hitting fly balls, line drives off the same pitcher again and again. And even if those are going for outs, that could be a good BVP matchup. So I do believe there's something to it. The problem is when you look at the research, it says it's not significant, but if you dig further than that and you include batted ball data, I think it's worth looking at if you're trying to break ties, things like that.
Matthew Haskins, don't be a freeloader. Don't if I hit the like, you got to give me a hat. No, we're giving you free content. You got some of the best DFS players in the world that we're going to be doing a free show for. Boom. It's very simple. And we're getting close to this title 425 likes too. We get 425, you're getting more swag. So that's going to be totally awesome. I love giving swag out because that means you guys did a good job. Let's move on here. Let's move on to what? We just did third base, so it's shortstop time. Tatis, Seager. Seager's my MVP play, by the way, at plus 1,500 this season. So we've got that. DC, Tatis and Seager, I think will probably garner 65 to 70% of the ownership today, at least in cash games. What's the pivot off of these guys in a GPP? And if you didn't
go down $100 more and play Trevor Story, who just crushes lefties. If you look at Trevor Story's career numbers against left-handed pitching in Coors Field, it's just off the charts. Like obviously it's Coors Field and it's righty versus lefty, but he in particular just murders them. So I really like him as a pivot off of Seager and Tatis. But man, Corey Seager, he was had a fantastic season last year, was even better in the postseason. And I'm a total baseball nerd, so I watch spring training games. This dude is locked in right now. 8 home runs in spring training, led all players. I mean, he's just going to square it up, I think, against Marquez and square it up every time he's up to the plate today. Whether or not that ends up going over the fence or finding the green grass in the outfield, that's harder to predict. But Seager's going to have very, very strong at bats. He's the cash game play over Tatis and Story. But both those guys are great plays too. I want to spend up here because one of these 3 guys is going to have a big game, and I think it's going to be hard to make it up elsewhere. I mentioned a guy like Jazz Chisholm has a chance at a big game, but you're very good chance of taking a 0 as well. So I think this is kind of the number 1 spend up position for me. Okay.
This is the title, spending up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we talk about catcher, how we're punting catcher, we talk about punting second base. We even give 3K options at first base. You got to spend up somewhere. And this is Seager. Like you guys have been saying, I mean, this guy is just locked in. He's going to be locked in. I like your bet, MVP. I mean, look at what he did last year in the World Series. Look, this guy is, he's seeing the ball. He's got a ton of power. He's a very good baseball player in Coors Field. He's the top play on the slate, I think. And that's not a contrarian take. Fernando Tatis signed me up against Baumgartner. I mean, I love him. I like you can play both of them in the utility spot too. I like that route. Story. Yeah. It's a great tournament pivot. Like DC said, I'm not a very big believer in Kershaw just being what Kershaw used to be. How I'm not fully stacking this Rockies team because their lineup's very bad, but a one-off Trevor Story who's going to be lower owned at this position, lefty masher, I definitely like it. Otherwise, you're going all the way down to the guys like Chisholm, Polanco, Rojas, all those guys that are second base and shortstop eligible on DraftKings. Yep. If you plug them in at shortstop, one of those guys, you're already going to be very contrarian because they're going to be used at second base instead.
Great point on the BVB, guys. Thanks for the explanation. You got it, Rocky. That's what we get here. DC, real quick. Tell people about the podcast again, because it's not just videos we'll be putting out. We do have stuff behind the paywall, but the podcast is free, right?
Podcast, yeah, absolutely free. Run Pure Sports. If you search that on iTunes, you'll find it. It will be baseball from here on out. It'll be up first thing in the morning, Monday through Friday, with me and a rotating cast of characters from the Run Pure team. And I've been doing the NBA one, like you mentioned, and that's kind of hard. Basketball's so news dependent, right? Everything can change in the couple hours leading up to lock. So it was kind of just a 5,000 foot look at the NBA games. Baseball, I'm more excited about the baseball version because you kind of know, right? You can look up, what the lineups are going to be for the most part. You know what the matchups are. Baseball is a very much more matchup dependent sport than basketball is on the individual level. And we can break down all these, all these games, all these pitchers. I'm always looking at, pitchers, pitch mix, and if their velocity is going up and down. So you'll get just a ton of good information to kind of get you going for the slate on that on the Run Pure Sports First Look podcast. So yeah, check that out for sure.
Thank you, Zachary. I'd make a great heel in the wrestling business, huh? I'll take that as a compliment.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, I take everything as a compliment almost. Title, let's go to you with Outfield, pal. So many different names, so many different players. I'm sure you'll have some Bellinger. Here's the guy that everybody gets tilted about that I will have tonight. Will Myers against Madison Bumgarner. Thoughts on Myers and a nice little matchup there. He lives facing lefties.
Oh yeah, I mean, how can you not like him today? And I like him even more on FanDuel, but he's 2.9K on FanDuel.
Oh, yeah, you can't fake that.
Well, then this is where I have to correct you, and because the new people listening, you can fade anybody in baseball. There is no such thing as a lock in baseball. As I said, Mike Trout can go 0 for 5. Corey Seager today can go 0 for 5. It's baseball at the end of the day.
For sure. And like we're talking Coors Field up. It could totally flame out today. I mean, German Marquez has had many, many good games over the course of his career at Coors Field. He's a very good pitcher. You got Clayton Kershaw, like one of the GOATs of all time on the other side. This could be a 2-1 game. There's no question that could happen. It's not the most likely thing, right?
That's cash. Like in GPPs, you almost are going to have to fade most of Coors today to win. This is just what happens. Like you fade Coors, the game you're on goes off, and then you win. It is not simple. I promise you that, but it's a strategy. There's going to be a ton of guys stacking Coors today. So if you're a GPP player, I mean, you can have your lineup there, but I'll tell you 3 lineups for me today, only one with Coors. And hopefully the other ones will pay off. You just can't. The ownership's going to be too high there. As far as semantics goes and nobody's a lock, you're right. You're absolutely 100%. Will Myers, though, at that price on FanDuel, I don't know how you keep him out of your cash lineup at this point. Who else do you like at outfielder, Title?
Yeah, so, I mean, on FanDuel, I will mention Jordan Luplow he's batting in the 1 hole. He's only 2.2K. That's one of the games where FanDuel does include it and DraftKings doesn't. He gets you a lot of stuff on FanDuel. Tommy Pham.
He'll probably be pinch hit 4 in the middle.
Yeah.
So be aware of that.
But he is 2 point. And that's the thing with MLB too. You can take a 0 and full punt something so you can go up. And in tournaments too, you see people win with the 0 all the time to go up and get some of the higher price bats. But that is a good call. He does get pinch hit for almost every game. Tommy Pham, he's very cheap on both sites. He's 3K on FanDuel, 3.1K on DraftKings. Very hard to ignore that price tag. What is David Dahl? Did he crack the lineup? Is he in the 2 hole, or he's not in the 2 hole?
He's not.
He's on the Rangers these days.
Yeah,
he's on the Rangers these days. See, this is I'm glad you said that. But I mean, he's 2.5K. He's 2.5K against Keller. I mean, that's why his price was so cheap. Yeah, he's definitely in play if you want to punt it. Definitely did not know that. I do not watch as much spring training, so rely on DC for that. Jorge Soler, that's just buying in on the talent at 2.8K. Yep. I don't love the matchup against Gibson. It's not something I like to target, but 2.8K, this guy is double dong upside. And then we have the Bellinger up top. He's by far the best outfield play on the slate. I'm going to want to get him in cash games. On FanDuel, you can play him at first base and outfield. So that gives you, it's new this year on FanDuel. You have dual position eligibility. He's definitely going to be popular, being able to be played anywhere. AJ Pollock, if he cracks the lineup, he's only 3.2K on FanDuel. I like that price tag. Anyone in Coors I have interest in. Outside of that, though, I think it's pretty condensed with Pham being very, very hard to ignore on both sides. Will Myers, Bellinger, Kettle Marte has outfield eligibility on DraftKings as well. So this is the most unique slate of the year because it's the one day we have all the top tier aces pitching, and we only have 2 totals above 5 with the Padres and the Dodgers. So ownership's going to be as condensed as we ever will see on this slate. And this
If
year,
you're making 150 lineups, don't forget to make one with Joey Gallo because he could strike out 5 times and still hit you 2 home runs. So that's what happens.
People are saying that
only though. 150 lineups only.
No, Gallo's in my core plays today at 3.6.
He's in your core plays?
Yeah.
Oh boy, let's hear it, Mr. DC. Why is Gallo in there?
I mean, he has the most, or basically tied for the most power of anybody in baseball. Weather in Kansas City is okay. It's certainly warm enough for Gallo to go deep, and Keller is an okay pitcher, but a lot of sinkers. Gallo, a really, really good low ball hitter. I think he can drop the barrel on one of those sinkers and take Keller deep. So yeah, I love Joey Gallo on both sides.
All right, let's go. Who else?
Austin Meadows is only 3.6K. I forgot to mention him on DraftKings too. That's too cheap for his upside.
A couple more guys I'm looking at. Again, if you want to go a little bit different, Max Kepler. I did mention kind of the same stuff with Jorge Polanco. Lefties have a decent chance of taking Woodruff deep. Kepler's got more than enough power, of course, to go yard in Miller Park, which is a great home run park. Andrew McCutchen crushes lefties. He looks back and healthy this year. Leading off for the Phillies against Max Fried, I think is fine. Again, these are, more contrarian plays. I mentioned, I think the Reds are a little bit of a sneaky stack. Kind of the more we talk about it, they're growing on me a little bit against Flaherty. Jesse Winker, a guy that crushes right-handed pitching. He's interesting. So just some, other guys if you want to get away from the obvious chalk.
Okay, very good. We have gotten through all the positions. We're already giving away some swag. Title, I don't think we're getting to 425 likes. It's a little weak today on the like button.
With over 700 watching. I mean, 425 is reasonable, but
I don't know. It's baseball. I think, people got to get into the flow here. I don't think we had like 425 for the first NBA show. That's fine. I'm not giving you guys anything unless you get to it, but I'm also not begging. So screw it. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Hit the like button. We'd love that too. And it's now time to get some stacks. Let's go. Let's get it going, DC. So the Reds, are they your number 1 stack today?
No, they can't be number 1. It's gotta be the Dodgers number 1. I think it's close between the Dodgers and the Padres, just because obviously you have the better hitting environment in Coors Field than in San Diego, but Marquez is also a much better pitcher than Madison Bumgarner is. So it's pretty close for me between those two teams. I do lean the Dodgers, but yeah, Dodgers, Padres, number 1 and number 2. No surprise there. I think pretty much everybody would kind of have those two listed as the top stacks. And then the Reds, I guess, are the team that I'm looking at. Winker, Castellanos, Votto, Suarez, Moustakas, even Nick Senzel, I think is a good cheap option at outfield. So, if Flaherty is kind of struggling, like I think he might, the Reds could be sneaky. So, 40 degrees in Cincinnati, that's not ideal, but it is a good home run park in general. Could see them doing some damage here.
Okay, very good. What about your stacks here, Title? If you're going to stack a team or two.
Yeah. So obviously the chalk stacks, we already know the Dodgers and the Padres. If I had to give some flyers as like my favorite secondary stacks or GPPs, Tampa Bay Rays would be one of them. I do like the prices on some guys like Meadows. Contra has a lot of upside for strikeouts, but he also has a lot of downside. He can get hit around. So they're going to be very low owned. That'd be number 1. And then it would probably be the Texas Rangers as number 2. Now, yes, David Dahl is a Ranger. I do know that now, but they're very cheap. They're a cheap price tag on this slate. And I don't think Keller is very good. So low owned Tampa Bay and the Rangers would be my 2 low owned GPP stacks.
So we're getting 420 is what you want, Jackson. That's fine. You get the 420. We're fine. So they want home run call outs. Okay. You want a home run? Yeah. Home run plays are kind of fishy. We can do that, but let's start with the SO. Are you going to go SO on baseball or do you want to change it up a little bit? We did have a question. What does SO mean? So before we get your SO play of the day, what does it mean?
Yeah, so SO, it was an MMA. It was probably last month, maybe 2 months ago. one of the MMA cards, there was a fighter. I can't even remember exactly who was fighting, but his corner kept saying SO, SO, SO. And DC, Daniel Cormier, not Draftcheat, but Daniel Cormier went on like a 10-minute rant about SO. In Spanish, I think it means very good or that's good. So it's just some positive mojo in Discord. Everyone kept saying it. Big T got along. It's a positive mojo. SO, just good vibes.
Good vibes. Who is the SO play of the day?
So I don't know for sure if he's going to be in the lineup, but it wouldn't be title. It wouldn't be opening day if I didn't go Gavin Lux in Coors Field. Cheap price tag. I think he does get a little overlooked, even if he is in, because he will be at the bottom of the order and people are going to go to the Kettle Marte punts and stuff. So I think Gavin Lux, if he cracks the lineup, I don't care where he is in the lineup, he is going to be in my tournament lineups. Gavin Lux, SO play of the day.
Ooh. Now, Draftcheat, this will probably come organically at some point in time. I have noticed you just take it out and put it on the table today. So whip it out, put it on the table, play of the day. We can go from there and come up with something better later. What's the play, man?
Hey, that's better than the Bagel Bites or Mom's Basement play of the day. So that's an upgrade.
Who said that?
That's what I'm known for, tragically, on the Twitter streets.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. No, we don't need any of that. Just whip it out and give us your play.
Self-deprecating humor. I'm a big fan.
Okay.
Can I have a hitter and a pitcher here?
Go for it, dude. This is, it's MLB, new show. Let's do it.
We already know the pitcher.
Yeah. Tyler Glasnow. He's shoving today. I'm going. I said 10 earlier. I'm going to bump it. I'm saying 12 strikeouts.
What?
Glasnow today. Your top pitcher. He will be the number one guy on the slate. Lock that up. And hitter, I'm going Joey Gallo. Mentioned it previously. I think the matchup sets up well for him against Keller. I don't love the Rangers in general, but I do love Joey Gallo. He's going yard tonight.
Ooh, I like it. Joey Gallo is his home run play of the day. Did you throw a home run play out there, Title?
No, but I mean, Gavin Lux is going to get in the lineup, and Gavin Lux is going to hit another home run for RPS.
I like your SO play of the day. Someone that's probably not going to be in the lineup. Come on, buddy.
I think he is going to get the start. I think he is going to. You don't think so? Against the righty? I mean, I don't know. I think he cracks lineup. If he doesn't crack the lineup, I'll give another play. Austin Meadows, if he doesn't crack the lineup, 3.6K against Alcantara. I think. I mean, I like Tampa Bay.
Took my guy. That's fine. I got other guys.
You had Austin Meadows.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna give. Listen, Corey Seager's my guy. Okay, but if you need to go down low a little bit,
you're ragging on Harper, giving chalk all day, and your play of the day is
hold on, DC. Hold on. That's why I'm giving another one.
All right.
I'm giving another one. The play of the day over here is going to be a man that's going to finish second in the MVP race in the National League. He's on a mission this year, second year in Philadelphia. This is his third. I don't know. Bryce Harper, home run. The not SO or DC play of the day, the home run call is going to be Bryce Harper. Why? Look at Title's face. This is Title.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
You're twitching.
He doesn't approve.
I'm trying to hold out my laughter.
Bad weather.
Bryce Harper on this slate.
Bad weather. Bad pitching matchup. Perfect conditions for Bryce Harper. Perfect conditions.
I will say Bryce Harper
you're laughing. You laugh
he's
now.
Incredible on opening day. Boys. He does it every opening day, so I don't mind that call.
Okay, very good. Let's pick somebody out here. We got to 400 likes. You want to give two away, Title, or was 400? We asked for 25.
No, I mean it's up to you. I'm just right now. I'm hurt right now because I don't think DC doesn't think my boy's gonna crack the lineup, and I do. So I really
argue with him about it.
No, it's not.
I mean, take it and cry.
There's no arguing. I mean, we don't know the lineup. Like, there's nothing to argue about. It's just. I'm really hoping he's
right.
in. That's
You're wrong right now because we don't know the lineup. I'm just saying, have some more conviction in your play, Title.
Well, I can't read. I can't read his mind, Robert's mind. So, we'll see when it comes. I just say I hope he does. I gave a secondary one if he's not in the lineup. But hey, we got 404. Let's give two away.
That's pretty good.
All right. Yeah. You know what? And if you got a chance to do the boop, good. That's great. Matthew Hawkins. Now, he says he'd hit the like if he gave you first of all, if you didn't hit the like, you're a total jabroni, but he is a subscriber. So he wins. Matthew Hawkins, info@runpuresports.com. Info at runpuresports.com. Add the bet side too for an extra $20. I'm telling you, it's 100%. You're welcome for that. The other one is Tony Niehaus. I don't know who that is. We'll give him some swag though. What do you think about that title?
I think he has enough swag.
Yeah, he probably does. How about Greg Swinehart? I didn't even know.
I got one.
Rubio, go on a picnic today. Go on a picnic. One. Hang out at the Reds game. Whatever.
I got one.
Do it. Who is it?
Yeah. No, it's Rocky NH72. I haven't actually seen that name too much in chat, but he said, "Great show, guys." And hey, that's positive mojo. We appreciate the words. So Rocky NH72, hit up Big T or Mangone, Twitter, Discord, Run Pure Sports, Twitter, whatever, and we'll hook you up with some gear. Appreciate the mojo.
Dante Jones, a homer call for me about Bryce Harper because I covered the Nats for so long. Yeah, a little homer call, no doubt about it. But it's opening day, baby. It's Bryce Harper. And if he does dong, I guarantee Holden will tag me on Twitter and I will hear all about it. No, you won't. I'll forget. Don't worry about it. I will totally forget.
Forget that was your play of the day.
You got lineups to build. DC has lineups to build. I got lineups to build. You guys got lineups to build. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you could get us 8 more likes, we'd love it. If not, no big deal. No biggie at all. Check out runpuresports.com. If you're not a sub, we got so much going on. We'll have this free show every day, but you're going to get the best lineup from each one of these guys, the lineup they're playing, their best lineup. You're going to get those cores, and then you can build around it. So you're already going to get a leg up. Playbook, cash chart, optimizer, everything is in there. DC, come on, baby. Give me something. Say something before you get out of here. These are your final words of the day before baseball gets underway.
Like Christmas, man, opening day. Can't wait to watch some baseball. Good luck, everyone. Thanks for watching, of course.
Title, do you have anything you want to say? I would like to bedazzle your headphones, but I really think you could use a couple of like blue little jewels on the side of those.
Coors Field, go Brewers. And we're still grinding NBA, so be on the lookout for that content later too. It's going to be a fun time.
Lot of NBA going on, gentleman. What time is the show today, Title? What time we got the workbench?
4:45 Eastern. We have a nice 7-game slate on a Thursday. NBA content will not slow down. I got cash cores on both sites. We'll be grinding on MLB. Make sure you get in Discord. We're breaking it all down.
All right. You survived, DC. See, it's not a bad show. It's going to be easy. We'll have great fun this year. You got a little smirk on your face that makes me feel happy. Thank you, Simon, for hanging out back. A couple of you guys have intimated that I use meth, that I smoke meth. I do not. Just very happy. And I had a lot of, I know, DC, that's what they're saying. Who's the guy in the middle doing meth? I'm like, I don't do meth.
That's quite the accusation there.
Yeah, look at my teeth. They're perfect.
They look nice.
Don't have that.
Very nice.
They look nice.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Anyways, have a great time today. Keep running
pure. Good luck, everybody.
Pure.